Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another bonus episode of Let's Talk But No Politics, okay? Coming to you every Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, here on the Helium Radio Network. And before we get into today's topic, or we're doing tiering again, I would like to just give a shout out to once again to our sponsor, as always, for every bonus episode, the Podcast Precinct. If you live in the Western New York area and you're thinking about starting a podcast, you want to do video game streaming, or you just want to hang out and, watch a boxing match and not so much of a bar element, please go hit up the Podcast Precinct on Facebook. They're there to help you on your podcast journey or whatever journey you are as well. Also, you can get photography done there. So if you're looking for headshots, promotion shots as well too, please go check them out. It is a really great place. I love the Podcast Precinct. Whenever I'm in Western New York and I need to record my podcast, I know I can always count on the folks over at the Podcast Precinct to help me out and get the job done. So thank you to the Podcast Precinct. All right, today we are going to be tiering DreamWorks movies. I've done Pixar. I don't think I've done Disney, but I've done Pixar. I've done so many of these, it's so crazy. And the reason why I'm doing DreamWorks is this is probably my first episode that I ever did where it's kind of like a dedication to somebody, or it came out of a suggestion. And that is Matt Johnson, who runs the Podcast Precinct and also many other podcasts, as well as the 2 Point Conversation that I'm on with as well. You might have heard him on my main episode of Let's Talk But No Politics, okay, many times. Panel discussion, retro pop, Colts fans and Bills lands. Oh my goodness, everything. The network sports talk show, just everything. So we got into talking, and he said that he was feeling a little stressed out. So I said, have you ever watched Kung Fu Panda 2? And he said, no, I don't understand this. I said, it's very Zen-like in everything that it does. And he said, how about you do that for your tiering? How about you tier DreamWorks movies? Because we got into a little bit of argument that I felt Kung Fu Panda was here we are, a little spoiler. I felt Kung Fu Panda was a little bit of a better series than Shrek. So let's see how each individual movie stacks up. So we got into that conversation about that. And very simple, very streamlined in the tiering going on here. We have the S tier. That is the cream of the crop. The best. We'll sit there. I will watch it even without a child. I got to be kind of in the mood to do that, but still very good. B, I'm gonna need like a kid to motivate me to watch this. One of my kids are gonna be like, "Hey, watch this." And C, that's nap time. I should have just put nap time for that one. That's just nap time. My kids are older, so sometimes I fade out during movies, but that is one of those ones where I'm just faded out. I give it about 15 minutes and I am wrecked. And the only reason why I'm watching it is because they suggested it. So, and the bottom one is, haven't seen. You can't see all this stuff. I'm getting to the age where before I could say that I've seen everything. I was collecting everything. Now I got stuff I got to do. Record this podcast is one of them. So without further ado, let's get into this DreamWorks tiering movies, and shockingly enough, it starts off with one of my favorites, and I can't even describe it, but Over the Hedge is an S tier. I love Over the Hedge. Bruce Willis as the raccoon. You got William Shatner in there, Eugene Levy. I know I'm missing so many, but so many great character, not even character actors, but just actors doing these characters for their voiceover. And normally when you do that for some of these movies, it just gets so lost in the sauce. It's like, oh, okay, cool, Bruce Willis is doing it. Yay. All right, whatever. But this one, it just seems like everything fits and the puzzle pieces go together, and I think it's pretty awesome. I really enjoy Over the Hedge. It is probably it's, as you can see, definitely one of my favorite DreamWorks movies. Shrek the Third. I don't really know. I get this one probably mixed up with what is that? Shrek Happily Ever After. Uh so I'm gonna put this in C because it doesn't stand out to me. And sometimes when you're dealing with this stuff, it's got to stand out to you. I have no memory of this. I'm not a big fan of this. B movie is the next one. I had such high hopes for a B movie. So many high hopes. I'm thinking Jerry Seinfeld. That's cool. I saw the previews. They did the whole thing with the Ray Liotta honey. I'm tripping over my words a little. And it gets put into a B. If my kids suggest to watch it, I will watch it. But they're getting older, so the suggestion is going down a little bit more and more each day. But I definitely, I'm going to put it in B. It's fitting putting the B movie into the B tier. It falls short. It falls short. It gets so close to have A and S potential, but it falls short. So that is why I put it in the B tier. Kung Fu Panda, I mentioned it before. Kung Fu Panda is definitely an A tier. It's not even, spoiler, not even my favorite Kung Fu Panda movie, but it is an S tier movie all the way. Jack Black. Once again, DreamWorks tries to throw a lot of big names into the movies. I feel, and then they like market it towards that. But Kung Fu Panda is amazing. Jack Black, even though Matt's not a fan of Jack Black, I am a fan of Jack Black, and I thought he did awesome in this. The story behind it, that there is no secret, that it's all within you, is absolutely amazing too. It's really great for kids. Madagascar 2, Escape. Is this the Escape from Africa? Because they finally got to Africa. It's C. It's nothing great. Not a fan of it. Not a fan of it at all. Oh my goodness. Not a fan. I just want to scroll see what else. Make sure I got the right stuff here. Okay. So, Monsters versus Aliens. Pretty good movie. Pretty good movie. I've seen it. I think I've seen it a couple of times. This is. I'm going to put this in the B tier as well, where there's got to be some sort of outside motivation other than mine to watch this. Is it good? It's not bad. It's not great. It's no Kung Fu Panda or Over the Edge. Definitely not. And that's where I got to put it. It's a B. It's a B tier. It's not C because I would probably stay awake to watch it, but I don't have enough. I can't remember enough of it, and I'm getting to the age where I feel like if I don't remember a movie or certain parts about it, it's not worth my time. The other thing I've noticed about movies as well too is like I watched all the Police Academies. You could check that out on main episode as well. If you go to like Apple Podcasts or Spotify or even the BICPP Radio Network, it's right there. It's a very very early episode. I think it's like episode 7. And what I realized from watching it now from a kid, that a lot of these movies mixed when I was a kid. So that's where I'm getting to the point now where I'm like, if I don't remember it, I I, I can't properly. I got to put it in a certain tier. How to Train Your Dragon. Jeez. How to Train Your Dragon is S. Great touching story. Great touching father and son story. The way that he finds this dragon, everything about it, taking care of it. The dragon saves the day. They kind of find out that, you know, they're the problem in the way, I believe. And it's just a great story leading into everything else. Here we are. Shrek. Oh, it's called Shrek the Final Chapter. C tier. it was cool. I was like, cool, a Shrek movie, the last one. I'm still gonna watch it, so I could say I've seen all the Shrek movies. Um, but overall, it's one of those ones where I feel like it's a giant cash grab and it falls short. A great kind of message that you want to change things, but things aren't always bad as they seem, and when they go away, you're gonna miss them. So that's that was the only thing I got out of it. But movie wise, it's a C. Megamind S tier all the way. I have a friend that looks like Megamind, and another friend, and that's kind of like it's not Music Man. I think it's Miracle Man in the movie Megamind. Everybody loves Mega or loves Miracle Man or whatever his name is. Nobody really likes Megamind. So this kind of reminds me of my two friends. We always say it's their life story. Mega Man is just great. Will Ferrell, David Cross. Oh, great. I love it when a great voice actor falls into a great situation. And this is another one of those. Great message. He gets everything in the end, but he realizes that he still needs that other person to complete him in Jerry Maguire ways. Next one, Kung Fu Panda 2. Kind of already spoiled that one for you as well. That's an S tier. This is my favorite Kung Fu Panda movie. Very Zen like about inner peace and learning that you gotta conquer yourself before you can move on to next stages. Very amazing. Matt, if you're listening to this, please tell me you've watched this. Please tell me you've watched this. And Ants, I did not see. It reminded me of A Bug's Life. I try not to watch copies of certain things. Like the one for Madagascar, I believe it's Disney's Into the Wild, I think it's called, and it just no. Puss in Boots, never seen. Madagascar 3, C. That was the C tier. I remember seeing this. My kids wanted it because you could get the free clown. Uh, what is that? Wig in the box. See, I told you my memory is not as good as it once was. All right. So the next one is Rise of the Guardians. I'll give this an A because this is, I consider more, shockingly enough, a holiday movie because it's got all the holiday characters in it. So it's good, but it's not S tier because I'm just gonna watch it pretty much during the holidays. I'm not gonna seek it out, but during the holidays, I do like it because Santa Claus is super cool. The Easter Bunny is super cool. You got the Tooth Fairy, Sandman, all these Jack Frost, all these great characters as well. So that's definitely an A tier for me. The Croods, S tier, because I'm a father, and this is about a family, and this is about a father keeping his family together. If I watched this as a kid, this might be an A or a B tier. But now that I'm ranking it, because a lot of these movies came out when I was a teenager, to be honest. But now that I'm looking at the Croods, he just wants to protect his family, and that's all you want to do as a parent, a father, a guardian. You just want to protect your family, and that is what he's trying to do. But sometimes you learn that you have to let go. And it's got a great message, great movie. Nicolas Cage is not normally my favorite dude in the world, but it works for me. Turbo. Turbo is an A tier, not quite an S. I'll give it an A tier. I really enjoyed Turbo. He gets sucked into the car, gets the nitrogen rolling through him, and becomes this big time racing snail. Snoop Dogg. I think Samuel L. Jackson's in this as well. It's a really good movie. I'll give it that an A tier, but no S on that one. Peabody and Sherman, I'll give it an A tier because I enjoy history, and this gives you a little bit of a glimpse into history as well, a little bit of history lessons, but nothing too intense, but still makes it fun. So I really like this one. I'll give it an A tier. How to Train Your Dragon 2, give it an A tier. It was cool. I do believe this is the one with the two dragons mixing. It's not. It's not like there's the, what are they called? It's the white toothless and the black toothless, and they kind of get into it, and then they find out that there's this massive dragon that controls other dragons and all that stuff. But it's a good one. Gets into it. Penguins. I've watched the cartoon Penguins, but I've never watched the movie. Home. I just watched this recently. Where do I want to put home? Oh my goodness, this is going to be a hard one. Is this an S or an A? If I have to think about it, then I got to put it in an A. A very good movie. I think his name is Jim Parsons. Sheldon from Big Bang Theory's in there. Nice warming heart message of someone trying to find somebody that finally gets what he wants, but then he gives it all up because he figures out something else as well. It's just another great heartwarming movie. I would watch home. Matter of fact, I turned it on, but that's because my mother was here and I don't think she ever seen it. Kung Fu Panda 3, I'm going to put it into an A tier. It's not as good as the other two, but it's still a Kung Fu Panda movie, so I still enjoy it, so it needs to go into the A tier. Prince of Egypt, done absolutely amazing. Story of Moses, if you're not religious or whatever, the movie is still done really, really well. It's definitely an S tier all the way. Trolls, I give it a B. By this time, my kids are a little bit older. They still want to watch it, but it's not really up there. I'll give it a B. It's nothing better than a B in my book. Boss Baby, surprisingly, I kind of like Boss Baby. I don't want to see Boss Baby 2, but I will give Boss Baby in an A tier. I love the cool premise behind it. Uh, babies are running this company. I do not watch the cartoon. I believe it's on Netflix, but it is still really. I think it's pretty good. It's not S, but it's A. It's an A tier. Oh, this is the one. How to Train Your Dragon 3 was the one. That's my fault. So I'm gonna put this as an A tier. Or no, this is. I can't tell. I'm gonna put it in a B tier. I don't think I would watch it because it's like the third one, and sometimes it gets really uh feels like it gets overdone after a while. So definitely, I'm gonna put that one in a B tier. I have no idea what this is. I thought it was Curious George. I have no idea if anybody knows what this movie is with this kind of monkey thing with the what is it, Appa from Avatar. Please let me know. So El Dorado, I've never seen El Dorado. Had no ambition to see an El Dorado. No ambition at all. Shrek. I love Shrek. I love Shrek. I think I love Kung Fu Panda a little bit more. I think Kung Fu Panda sustained success over a longer time, and I was more excited when a Kung Fu Panda movie came out over a new Shrek movie. But it's an S tier. It's Shrek. It starts with an S. It's Shrek. It's not Shrek the Third. It's not Shrek the Final Chapter. It's Shrek. It's good. It starts it all off. Very well done. Puts a smile on my face every time I see it. And it's absolutely amazing. Love it. Spirit. Never seen Spirit. I'll lower this down here. Never seen Spirit. Never seen Sinbad. This one gets difficult. Shrek 2. Shrek 2, I can see it where it gets difficult. Where do I want to put this? I can easily put it in S, but I feel like it's a little bit more in the A. It could go into either slot. Is it as good as these other movies I got up here? In my mind, is it as good? and looking at Over the Hedge, Kung Fu Panda, How to Train Your Dragon, Megamind, Kung Fu Panda 2, The Croods, The Prince of Egypt, and Shrek, I have to put it in an A. I will not put it in an S tier. I think my friend Matt Johnson might have something to say about this. I don't know if you guys have anything to say about it. If you're watching on YouTube, like I said, you can always leave comments. Not a problem. But I feel like it's not as good. It had its moments, but it's not as good. Not not too big. I noticed there's a couple left off of here. I noticed there's no Trolls World Tour of anything like that. Shark Tale. I actually enjoyed it. Jack Black, Will Smith. It's an interesting one. I know a lot of people don't like it. I'll give it an A tier. I would watch Shark Tale if it's on TV. I'm not seeking it out, but if I'm scrolling through Netflix and I'm bored, I'd watch that by myself just for the fun of it. I like it. I liked it a lot. Very interesting aspect of a story there. Another father and son. Son wants to do something different than the father. Very, very interesting. I really enjoyed it. And the final one is Madagascar. You go into the sea pile. I do not like any of these Madagascar movies. I feel force fed during them. I feel like they're like, hey, we got Ben Stiller and David Schwimmer and I think Jada Pinkett Smith and Chris Rock. Here, you gotta love it. This is the way it is. And I talked about that with Over the Hedge, that there's a lot of big name actors, but it doesn't feel force fed. It feels very natural about everything in there. And that's how I feel. And I feel Madagascar is the reverse of all that. It's force fed down your throat of what kind of people they have in there. And I'm really, really just don't want to deal with that. So here we are. We have going down the line of all the tiers. I'm going to give it out. So S tier movies, and these are cream of the crop. Would sit down and watch these by myself without a problem. I would actually kind of like seek these out. Is Over the Hedge, Kung Fu Panda, uh, How to Train Your Dragon, Megamind, Kung Fu Panda 2, The Croods, Prince of Egypt, and Shrek. In the A tier, I'm not seeking these out, but I'll watch them. I would watch them if I just kind of was scrolling through and bored. You got A Rise of the Guardians, Turbo, Mr. Peabody and Sherman. Sorry, Mr. Peabody and Sherman. How to Train Your Dragon 2, Home, Kung Fu Panda 3, Boss Baby, Shrek 2, and Shark Tale. B tier. Need a little bit of child motivation to watch these. As kids like, hey, let's watch this. Okay, let's do it. Uh, and the B tier is the B movie. B movie. B tier. Once again, that joke. Monsters versus Aliens, Trolls, and How to Train Your Dragon. I believe that's 3. And in the C tier, this is where if my kids want to watch it, it's pretty much nap time for me. That's Shrek the Third, Madagascar 2, Escape Africa, Shrek the Final Chapter, Madagascar 3, Europe's Most Wanted, so bad, and Madagascar. DreamWorks movies that I haven't seen on this list: Ants, Puss in Boots, Penguins, the Madagascar Penguins, and this weird one. I don't know what that is still. El Dorado, Spirit, and Sinbad. So that is the complete list of DreamWorks movies and how I would tier them. I think this is. I'm very happy. I got some time left over, so I'm going to kind of go over these things. Make sure I'm very happy with each one, even though I just read them off to you. And I got to say, I'm happy with them. DreamWorks is not always the best compared to Pixar, but you if we did it for Pixar, we got to do it for DreamWorks. So that's why I'm glad I did this and I went over everything. Uh, and there you have it. I consider the Kung Fu Panda franchise better than the Shrek franchise. No, if you would have told me, I would have said that when Shrek came out, I would have said you were nuts. That I would like anything better than Shrek, but going over this tier list, it looks like I absolutely 100% do, and without a problem. So, with that being said, thank you for listening, and if you're on YouTube, thank you for watching. I am your host, Andrew Lenz, and you can catch new episodes of Let's Talk But No Politics every Sunday on the BICBP Radio Network, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Audible. Also, as you heard, bonus episodes here every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern on the Helium Radio Network. And go check out YouTube. Like I said, you can watch this. You can watch the video of this on YouTube. So you get to see it again and listen. You can see it and listen. Audio visual, everybody. Go check that out on YouTube. Some other great videos as well. I kind of put a pause on the retro gameplay stuff because I'm moving, so time is limited between recording bonus episodes and regular episodes. And plus, also, I do the 2 point conversation, like I said, with Matt Johnson. So we're trying to work on that as well. So I'm kind of busy. So the YouTube channel is a little bit stagnant, but still go check out the old stuff. I really think you would enjoy it. And also, please go check out the Let's Talk But No Politics OK Facebook page. Still doing the toy tournament as of this recording. It is in the KB toy division. So by the time this recording comes out, it looks like we will be in the FAO Schwartz division, and that is 64 toy lines. Some of them are grouped together, some of them are not. And go vote on your favorite toy, even though we are already 3 divisions in. But maybe yours toy is still there. So go check that out. Some other great content as well on the Let's Talk But No Politics OK Facebook page. We are also on Instagram as well. So with that being said, good morning, good afternoon, and good night.